Hi, folks, and welcome back inside Manhattan Basketball. Christian and I will speaking with the head coach of Manhattan Women's Basketball, John Olenowski. Coach, as always, thanks a lot for the time.
Absolutely, Christian.
And so we come off this Thanksgiving break, and I know the team isn't performing where you guys expected them to, or where you'd like to, just in terms of the results. But as you look at where the team is through the first few games of the year, where are you in terms of where the expectations were?
Well, I think we knew that we were going to be a very young basketball team, and we knew there was going to be a learning process. Quite frankly, we were hoping for much better results, and a couple of basketball games I feel we kind of let slip away. But I think we'll be stronger for it, and I think we'll learn from it, and we're still expecting to have an outstanding season this year.
And you talk about it, using the word slip away, and it's not as if to look at these box scores simply and say, oh, Manhattan wasn't ever really in this game. You've been in every single game for a good chunk, even right up to the wire, most of them.
Yeah, and I refer back to the LaSalle game. In the second half, we take an 8-point lead. We had all the momentum going our way, and then we just we kind of threw the ball away and really had some bad turnovers, and they came back to the lead, and we came back again, but it was a little bit too little too late. So those type things, when we have the lead, we need to capitalize on that and do a much better job of finishing.
There have been some bright spots for this team in the early parts of the season as well. Statistically, defending the three has been one of them.
Yeah, we've done a pretty good job of getting out there on the three-point shooters, and that's a very, very big key. So we're going to continue to do that and then improve on other areas that we need to shore up our defense.
Not to mention you've also gotten now back-to-back double-doubles from your freshman in Kayla Grimmy.
Yeah, Kayla's really stepped up, and I think she's going to be somebody really special. She plays very, very hard. She's a very strong rebounder, especially offensively, and she's starting to finish nicely. So I think you'll see some great games and great numbers from Kayla.
With that being said, what are some of the things that you still see her struggling to adjust to in the college game?
Well, one of the biggest things is defensively, really denying that post and being physical, a physical presence inside. So she's learning the proper footwork with her defense, whatever, and she also is learning that it's a much faster game. When you catch the basketball, she's got to make a quick, strong post move. She doesn't have as much time as she did at the lower level.
You talked about this being a very young team, and you and I have focused a lot in terms of the youth, the point guard position, or even in the backcourt. But in the front court as well, you look at it, and the elder statesman really is Ashley Stack as a junior. How important is it for her to be a leader amongst that group?
Well, it's very important because she's our most experienced player there at that position, and I think she stepped up nicely on the offensive end, and she's had a couple of nice offensive basketball games. And I think one thing that gets overlooked is she's passing the ball really well. She's got a really good assist-to-turnover ratio, and I think last game she had 4 assists to 1 turnover. So she's doing a really good job in there on the offensive end, and I think she's kind of stabilizing that position, which is really nice to see.
It's been a little impressive to watch, and obviously we haven't seen it much from Kayla yet, but the way these post players can kind of stretch the floor with their outside games. Shayna stepping out 12, 15 feet. Ashley can hit the three with regularity. And even Maeve, I know she's listed as a guard, but she's got that lanky body to drag people outside.
Yeah, she does, and we're hoping that Maeve really kind of steps up and plays the way that we know she's capable of. She's an outstanding player, and she would really stretch any zone because she's a deadly three-point shooter. So she'll step up in due time, I'm sure, and Shayna has shot the ball nicely from that 15 to 17-foot range. So it's good that we can bring post out and then get it inside to Kayla, who's pretty much a very strong inside player.
When you look at this backcourt so far, and obviously Allison Skreck is the leader amongst them as a point guard, when you look at the youth of it, where do you see them making the biggest improvements?
Well, I think that with Katie Reese, I think Katie's really stepped up and had some nice games, especially the last game, whatever. She had 6 points, a number of assists, and gave us really good energy. And Blake's a great athlete that's just getting better and better. So I think she'll be stepping up and getting some more time as well. But Nikki Anderson has really, really stepped up, and we're excited about Nikki's progress, and we think that she's really going to be a good one for us.
So as you look forward for this team, obviously you're on the road coming up this week against Oakland. Only one game this week and then finals next week. As you approach the semester break, How nice is it to know that in just a couple of days, this team is only going to have one thing to focus on, and that is basketball?
Yeah, that will be nice for sure, because certainly all of our student athletes really excel in the classroom, and it takes up a very you have to be very dedicated in both ends, whatever, and they're very good students. So the fact that they can just concentrate on basketball will certainly help us, and I think it'll make practices a little nicer and a little bit more competitive maybe, but it's always nice to have that break, and it extends into after the new year and when our conference schedule starts. So we're kind of looking forward to that. I know the girls are too.
One of the things that a lot of folks look at the box scores the last couple of games and will notice is that Monica hasn't been putting up the usual double digits that we're used to seeing from her in terms of scoring. But you have seen other players, whether it be a Nicole Isaacs or an Ashley Steck or Kayla Grimmy, step up in that offensive presence. How key is it to get this team on a consistent basis with that balanced scoring?
It's a very big key. We really need everyone to step up, and we need balanced scoring. And Monica had some huge games before this last little drought, but she'll snap out of it, and we have to do a better job of getting the ball inside to her more and giving her some more looks inside to open up her outside game. So I have no doubt whatsoever that Monica's going to come back with the passion and have some really big basketball games.
As you look forward to this trip to Oakland, Michigan, by the way, not California, as many people might think, you've defeated them here at home. What do you take from last year's game and try to turn into this year's?
Well, first of all, I wish it was in California, because it's going to be 35 degrees, and I think we're going to be a little chilly there. But we knew that they were a very tough basketball team last year, and we did get the win, but it was hard fought, and we had a great first half in that particular game, and they're very improved from last year. They have a new coach with a new system, and they play very hard. They've got balanced scoring. They play good defense. So we've got our hands full with a very good basketball team.
I'm always a little interested to find out what coaches' opinions are in terms of this. What do you find is easier to do, coaching on the road or coaching at home?
Very good question. But I think we've always been a pretty good road team, so I kind of enjoy being able to have the challenge of playing on the road and playing in different environments, whatever. So I think as a coach, I certainly enjoy that. Our players probably feel a little more comfortable being at home, but I think it balances itself out, and I think they're getting used to playing on the road and starting 3 straight games on the road. We're very familiar with conditions and what we need to do to step up and do well.
How much do these things, obviously you can talk about it in the preseason, in practice, these players see each other every single day, they live with each other, they go to class, but how much do these road trips help in terms of a team chemistry aspect?
Yeah, the bonding is outstanding, and I think it really helps, with that development for sure. And chemistry is such a big thing with college basketball, especially with the women's game. So I think it certainly helps, and I think they look forward to it, and I think they take full advantage of making it a nice trip all the way around.
So that being said, Coach, what are some of your keys for this weekend?
Well, keys for this weekend is, again, we need that balanced scoring that we're looking for in every game. We've got to really tighten up our defense and play much better on the defensive end, and our rebounding has got to get better. We really need to control the boards and do a much better job on the boards overall with all 5 players.
It's John Olenowski, head coach of Manhattan Women's Basketball. Don't forget, you can follow Coach on Twitter at John Olenowski, and if you'd like to submit a question for our next Inside Manhattan Basketball, you can tweet us at GoJaspers, or you can email us gojaspers@manhattan.edu. Coach, as always, thanks a lot for the time.
Thank you, Christian. Appreciate it.
And thank you for joining us inside Manhattan Basketball.